This girl disappeared when running alone. The horrifying truth shocked the world. The disappearance of Joyce McLain, a 16-year-old girl who went for a run and never returned, had a profound impact on her community. The sudden vanishing of this young girl left the town in a state of shock and terror, as residents grappled with the uncertainty of what could have happened to her. Despite tireless efforts to locate Joyce, the case remained unsolved for 38 long years, leaving the community in a state of perpetual sadness and confusion. However, in a shocking turn of events, the truth about Joyce's disappearance was finally uncovered, unraveling a horrifying mystery that had remained hidden for nearly 4 decades. Prepare yourself for a crippling tale of true crime that will leave you on the edge of your seat. Joyce McLain, born on September 4, 1963, was a young girl with a bright future ahead of her. Her family moved to the charming town of Millinocket, nestled near the border of the United States, where Joyce would spend most of her childhood. With a passion for music ingrained in her from a young age, Joyce quickly became a musical prodigy, mastering various instruments with ease. However, her love for the saxophone was unparalleled, and she spent countless hours perfecting her skills on this instrument. It was no surprise that music became her favorite subject in school, and she even joined the school's music club to pursue her passion. But Joyce's talents didn't end there. She was also an active participant in school life, being a member of the cheerleading squad and even playing soccer. Little did anyone know that tragedy would strike, and Joyce's promising future would come to an abrupt halt. As the end of summer approached in 1980, Joyce McLain was eagerly preparing for her approaching 17th birthday. With a newfound sense of freedom, having recently obtained her driver's license, she was planning a party at the beach to celebrate the occasion with her closest friends and family. However, Joyce had much bigger dreams than just a beach party. She was also planning for her future, determined to attend college after graduating from high school, and pursuing her passion for music and the arts. But fate had other plans in store, as on a fateful Friday evening on August 8, 1980, Joyce set out for a run and disappeared without a trace. On that ill-fated day, Joyce set out for her evening jog, following her usual route that took her past the Schneck High School and through the town. As she made her way down to the baseball and soccer fields, her favorite spot to run laps, little did she know that this would be the last time she'd been seen alive. As the hours ticked by and Joyce failed to return home, her mother grew increasingly anxious and worried. She took it upon herself to search for her daughter, driving around the town and inquiring with neighbors if they had any information on her whereabouts. But to her dismay, no one had seen Joyce after she was last spotted near the soccer fields. With the night wearing on and still no sign of Joyce, her mother made the tough decision to call the police for help. The police launched a massive search operation for Joyce, with officers combing the town and its surroundings for any sign of the missing girl. Despite their best efforts, they were unable to locate her, and the days ticked by with no breakthrough in the case. It wasn't until 2 agonizing days later that the search volunteer, Peter Larley, stumbled upon a chilling discovery in the woods behind the school soccer fields. Joyce's lifeless body lay on the ground, her clothes missing, and her hands tied behind her back. The investigators soon discovered that the victim had suffered a severe head injury, and the scene of the crime was fraught with clues that pointed to a brutal and vicious killer. The news of the heinous murder quickly spread like wildfire throughout the town, sparking widespread panic and fear among its residents. Parents were understandably concerned for the safety of their children, and many began to discourage them from playing outside after dark. Joyce McLain's death remains a mystery, and several theories had been presented, but no suspects could officially be identified. After many attempts, Pam had finally obtained permission to have Joyce's body exhumed so that a second autopsy could be conducted, and new evidence could be found to solve her murder case. The exhumation was carried out in 2008, and new evidence was uncovered. However, the following year, in 2009, unknown assailants repeatedly vandalized Joyce's gravesite. It was unclear at the time if this vandalism was connected to her murder or was simply a random act. The case was reopened and reviewed again by the authorities, and new evidence that implicated Philip Scott Fournier in the case came to light during the investigation. Several witnesses who had not come forward earlier also gave statements confirming Fournier's involvement in the incident. Based on the evidence presented, Fournier had been identified in 2009 as a person of interest. However, it had not been until March 2016 that he was finally arrested and charged with the murder of Joyce. It is important to note that Fournier had been under suspicion since the beginning of the investigation.